It's called a promo, kid.
Shut your
and
mouth,
if you want to
John.
be the big dog, you're going to have to learn how to do it. So go ahead.
You ready? No! I said, are you ready?
That was good. Glad you finally decided to pull that giant stick out of your butt and have some fun for once in your life.
You're uneducated marks! You sit there on your phones tweeting out your opinions like they're worth a damn. Let me explain something to you people. You don't know shit!
And I'd like to think that maybe this company will be better after Vince...
Just start with. I'm literally just starting with the cover of this DVD. I would rather be talking about the past main events than this one, but that's not a segue into saying it was bad.
Well, you know what? Before we start, actually, this morning, my brother woke me up and he was like, "We got to look at all this old stuff on the network or on Peacock because the rumor is that when it goes to Netflix, we're not going to have all this old, WCW and territories and all that."
Yeah, I heard that.
I went. I looked at the old Saturday Night's Main Event stuff. I looked to see if they even had it because I was like, I had never looked it up, so I never knew. Turns out they have them. They have them all. Yeah. Down to 83, I think, or 86, somewhere around there. I was surprised.
You could have just came to the studio, and you would have been watching Terry Funk versus Hulk Hogan, Cowboy Bob Orton versus Hulk Hogan, everybody versus Hulk Hogan.
Okay, but did you know that Evander Holyfield boxed Matt Hardy?
What?
I do remember that. I love that somebody else remembers that. I didn't think anybody would ever remember that. It was during that MVP rivalry when they were competing.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, they were doing all sorts of competitions and.
See, I didn't see that when it was airing. I saw it on Peacock, and I was like, "Huh?"
What?
I think that was like my second Saturday Night's Main Event, which is why I chose to cover this, was because Saturday Night's Main Event is a special thing to me. Yeah. It's what got me into pro wrestling when I saw John Cena and Edge. I thought it was a every Saturday night thing too. I was like, we're doing this every Saturday?
Give me a hell yeah.
I wish.
Nope.
You just made the list!
Now, before we even get into Saturday Night's Main Event, though, we're going to do a little bit of what do we want to talk about.
What do we want to talk about?
This is the first time ever. First time ever we're talking about TNA. Judgment Day is upon us. It's finally come. I'm opening it up.
Cry me a river.
How do you feel about Tessa Blanchard? Because you're actually the one who told me about how bad she was.
Okay, so, yeah, a lot of other wrestlers have said she's racist, she's bullying backstage, and she's very hard to work with. And that ended up getting her blackballed from pretty much everywhere except, I think, she was working in CMLL for the longest time. Then I'm not going to go into that because that's a whole other can of worms.
So
she came back. TNA.
But this bitch is getting on my
nerves. I'm not, I don't hate TNA like I think you do at this point.
Oh, you didn't
know?
But not a good look. Not a good look at all.
No.
Say cancel culture just did a spit take.
Fickle. They're fickle.
Well, and you bringing it up, me hating it, is that segues into the other tweet I want to show on the subject. I went to the internet to make sure they knew why I was on this point. I stopped watching TNA when Scott D'Amore, the guy who made it TNA again, was fired because he wanted to go in a different direction. We talked about this on the show. I'm not going to dig too deep into it, but I chose not to support it. And Final Resolution just made me feel validated because there was a point with the Hardys being in there that I was like, TNA is really hot right now, but I don't feel right supporting it.
And I hate to say that it's like, oh, it's just TNA. It won't affect anything else. But as we'll see later on this episode, it kind of does.
It kind of does. So what do you want to talk about? Because I think there's a couple things you want to talk about that I don't have.
Yes. So every year for a while, Progress Wrestling has this event called Unboxing. It's basically like a mystery kind of thing. It's a whole event where either the entire match, or like I think this year Axel Tischer is defending his, I think it's the Proteus Championship, but they haven't announced his opponent yet, and things like that. There's a whole air of mystery about it, and I'm really excited because I have Triller TV Plus this year, so I actually get to watch it live.
Oh, nice.
And not be spoiled.
Give me a hell yeah.
It's on the 29th, and it should be super exciting.
Sounds really fun. That'll be just after this other main event, which I'll be at live.
No,
Another thing.
Month.
Oh, this month, right? Misheard you. I thought you were saying of January. I thought it was in January.
No, it's a Christmas tradition. It's a
Gotcha.
Christmas time tradition, so it's because unboxing, Christmas presents. Yeah.
Well, ho ho ho! What do you know?
Yeah.
And one thing you told me that I didn't take too much interest in because I had a very tiring week. I didn't know PWI had a top tag teams list.
I didn't either until I saw it, and oh god. I mean,
So
you go ahead. Give me your thoughts first.
I don't have any thoughts on it. I paid no mind to it. I have nothing on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. So I know we're not supposed to give like too much into like the PWI lists and stuff, but it's nice to know that for me personally, the number 2 actual number 1 spot is taken by Fraxium.
Okay, and that will be the one thing not Fraxium. They should be number 1, but who is number 1 did severely bother me. Because what did they do?
They see. I can justify them being on the list. I can't justify them being that high. And what really, it's not that. I call them Jade EST. That's no one's come up with a tag team name for them yet. I don't know, because I know the trio's like the big 3, but what's the tag name? They got number 1. I would put Fraxium. They're better. They put on way better matches. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole list is like Bishamon is number 3. Or is it? Yeah, Bishamon from New Japan. There's a lot of New Japan names on there. There's a star.
Because they love tag teams.
Yeah, it's just tag teams. It's
Japan loves tag team wrestling.
They do. Which honestly, props to them. I said it before. As far as like tag team divisions, Raw, SmackDown, they suck. Sorry. Although SmackDown's getting a little better. But NXT for me has the best tag team division out of WWE. But yeah, anyways, it's a weird list.
It's a weird list. There's one, before I get in the event, one other thing I want to talk about, and I'll keep it brief.
what do we want to talk about?
Toni Storm acting like she just got signed to AEW and doesn't remember anything that happened. Essentially turning RJ City's storyline, the timeless storyline, into like absolute cinema that's past the level of already what it's delivered.
Yeah.
See,
That's just gold.
when she came back and she was in her Rockstar gimmick, I was like, this is going to lead to her slowly declining back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's going to slowly decline back into timeless. This is how I hope that's how it goes.
And I'm sorry if I'm spoiling it, but I have to for the show's sake. If you haven't watched Collision, she gets on the mic and says like, "I'm all elite," basically insinuating what we're suspecting. And that's when I hopped to the internet. I won't show the tweet on this one because it's less relevant, but I told like several people to stop getting their panties in a bunch and let it play out. It made no sense to me that people were like, "Oh, how stupid. All they had to do was wait 3 days."
Yeah, I think
Ooh.
that's just a side effect of like culture today. Everything in today's culture, whether it be wrestling or not, is, instant gratification. People don't like to see long-term story. We say we like long-term storytelling, but we don't want to sit around and wait for it.
Fickle. Damn. They're fickle.
But yeah, I could see a couple of fans, like when she first came back and she was a rock star, a lot of people were confused. And then they were like, oh. And I get it, though. This is something that you could accuse WWE of doing. This is something you would see WWE doing, right? But AEW is not WWE, so.
I think about it too. When Tony Storm was just being Tony Storm and not getting over and not becoming champion the way everybody like thought she would, I feel like this is a genius way to like get an old character over more than the first time you did it. It's just
fair.
genius to me. It's genius.
I'm interested to see where it's going, though. That's for sure.
Drink it in, man.
Now, where we're going to Saturday night's main event. It was a good retro feel to open the show. I would go. I still, as much as I'm not going to like too much about it, I'm still going to go next month. So,
yeah.
Including that old fart Jesse Ventura showing up. I had to put that in the notes.
He's moving on.
He's moving on. No, I'm kidding. Let's show a quick tweet I have here. They made a comment, said WWE has been experiencing sky-high popularity. I said, doesn't feel that way to me. Pro wrestling as a whole definitely is, but WWE, ironically enough, isn't responsible for any of that. They just seem to be trying to milk off of it a little bit. Also, Vince is gone, so stop lying so much. You can either rebuttal that or agree.
I guess our rebuttal is I mean, they have the numbers to back it up. I'm not saying I completely agree with them, but they do have the numbers to back up a little bit of their claim.
Looks like we've had enough talk.
I need to look more at these numbers because I feel like numbers might lie just as much. Or the numbers don't lie, but they do. Show me these numbers.
They're fickle.
Another tweet I have, and I misspelled the word being, and it says being.
Oh my god.
Being given the reminder that even though you pay for Peacock with no ads, you still have to watch commercials. I wasn't happy about that.
I mean, I get it because this is something that's also airing on regular television.
Yeah, on NBC. I got it. And I was like, I understand because it's network television. You can't control that. It would be nice. I pay extra money.
Yeah. I don't know. Give me a free popcorn. That'd be crazy. If we can get to the point where we have like them able to like through like a side of the TV or something, free popcorn or something, that'd be great.
Yes. We'll get there eventually. Now, I write a note later in the notes that I want to bring up now instead. Because Drew versus Sammy, it was a opening match. It makes sense. But I felt like the women's U.S. title match would have been the best way to open off Saturday night's main event.
Going into it, I didn't think that, but I think coming out of it, I would agree.
Yeah. Going into it, I felt that way. Coming out of it, I was like, no, I'm right. I'm for sure right. But we did start with Drew and Sammy. The match started very abruptly as Sammy attacked Drew as the second he entered the ring.
Hell yeah.
Give me a hell yeah.
The matchup itself, it had the potential to be redundant, but thankfully I noted that I was entertained by it. Like, it could have been a really redundant match, but they didn't make it that until the finish comes. And this is a thing for me. The match at all did not disappoint, but the abrupt Claymore 3 count is a boner killer.
I think, that's for sure.
The boner kill.
The idea is there's more to this feud, so we're not going to drag this out. We're not gonna have like some sort of like, or maybe the other thing I was thinking is like Drew's just going after every person that was part of the bloodline. He took out Jimmy on SmackDown, took out Jay, got Sammy. Next up is Roman. Oh, my bad.
Acknowledge me.
I think that's the first time on the show I've used the word boner too. That might be the first ever in like almost 100 episodes.
Either I'm Mandela affecting this, or this might be the second time.
Huh.
I can't remember exactly, but like, I don't know. Deja vu.
I'm gonna move on to the women's world title match. I was heavily, without any secret, pulling for Io Sky here, but super doubtful she would get the win.
When that narrow entranceway,
was
perfect for her entrance.
Yes,
just seeing her like get up in the camera and do that, the whole. I loved it.
I've only had thumbs down. We're doing thumbs up for that one.
Yeah.
This is a new thing I'm doing. I'm just gonna start doing reactions for everything. Io comes out with Dakota and Kyrie by her side, but leaves them behind at the stage entrance, and Liv does the same. I didn't think it was gonna stay that way.
I didn't
Spoiler
think so
alert,
either.
it does, but I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Oh, here's some juicy shit. There's another tweet I sent during the commercial break. If they want me to ever earn any respect back for the company, WWE should stop mentioning positive things about people like Fabulous Moolah. If that's still your ideal woman idol in wrestling, you are off.
Yeah, it's hard. Obviously we talked to Ray Lopez at one point, and we mentioned, history. You
Good
can't
point.
erase wrestling history as much as that. Like, it's like, maybe also mention how terrible they were. I don't know, like, because you can't erase it. You can't just be like, oh, it didn't happen.
Yeah. Honestly, I wasn't even going to let you argue that point, but that's one thing I can agree with. I don't like our history, but it did happen, and you can't undo it.
Yeah.
Or can you?
Well, that's another topic for another day.
Io Sky dominates a lot of this match, and Liv sells her ass off, too. Like, major respect. Yeah. Liv Morgan sells.
Yes, she's always been really good at selling.
Yeah.
Flashback to Shayna Baszler in the Chamber?
Oh, yeah. What I didn't respect, though, was this match going okay, and then Liv just quickly getting the Oblivion and pinfall. The same complaint as the first match. The same complaint.
It definitely feels like a lot of these matches were, I don't want to say rushed, but yeah, rushed might be but it was still a really, like, entertaining match to me. Like,
they were ruched.
Io looks super strong here. Like, she was on, like, another level. She had one mishap, but she played off it great, and she just kept going.
I sent out the tweet and said, what the is with these quick finishes?
You just made the list!
I cannot say. And that's the thing. I don't hate the whole event as a whole. Every match had some good quality to it. And then these first two, the finishes had me so mad. I agree with Dorby Allen's tweet as well that I'm posting here. It says, already regretting watching Saturday night's main event over Collision. And maybe I don't regret it because I don't live with regrets, but I heard Collision was pretty badass tonight.
Yeah.
I did hear so too. But, I had it on in the other room. Obviously, my brother was watching it.
Respect.
I didn't actually get to watch it because I was sitting here, eagle live, waiting for Penta to show up.
Penta is not showing up at Saturday night's main event.
I know. That's a shot at,
I don't know why I didn't put any of that on the what do you want to talk about? Probably because I don't actually want to talk about it that deeply.
Oh, yeah. No, I get
that. But this bitch is getting on my nerves.
Oh, damn. God, how heavy that shit is. It's been a long time, Buster. It feels stiff as a rock now.
No.
The leather feels so stiff.
It's not good.
Yeah. This is the first belt I ever got. Feels cozy. Feel right at home with it.
Over it.
Let's get into the World Heavyweight title match. And I'm going to just keep on holding this for the rest of the show.
Do that, yeah.
So Spin came out first. I really analyzed that the men and women's heavyweight title matches were before the women's U.S. title match. And I felt like that should have been the opener of the show. But anyways, I already covered that. That's where I made the note. And that's how I feel still. Other guys come out. I don't know who's winning it. But I'm rooting for Gunther and Finn Balor at the same time here. So two out of three people can win. And I'll be all right.
I've been a Damien advocate. I wouldn't hate Damien winning. It wouldn't make sense to me storyline-wise.
Yeah, I don't think there's a bad winner in the equation. Damien Priest is just my third option.
Yeah.
No disses here. Just that's how it is.
I did say... go
ahead.
Sorry. I was thinking, because part of me was like, this is the first Saturday Night's main event back. But it's got to be a title change, right? Spoiler alert. So I was thinking this is the match that would happen if there was a title change. Obviously, triple threat, easy way out, things like that.
Me too. And like, I know Finn Balor being world heavyweight champion seems like a stretch for a lot of people, but for me, it felt like a right move, especially with them being in the Judgment Day and them already having the tag titles. And
yes,
yeah. Now, with this match, I felt a little hopeful because it's a triple threat, and that formula hardly ever disappoints me. Triple threats never seem to go badly. No, I'm knock on wood when I say that, but I can't think of one. From the top of the match, it was good, but skepticism filled my body that I'd have another bad finish, and thanks heavens, that was not the case here.
No.
It was not. Good match. Excitement came back. Gunther dominates like the last 3 minutes to get the win. That's what him and I both needed. Him and I both needed him to do that.
Gunther now has that aura about him back again, especially when he... Okay, this is going to sound terrible. He almost drops Damien. And
oh my God, the stairs.
But the fact that he was able to course correct, and deliver that powerbomb onto those stairs, big props to him. I mean, you almost messed up in the first place, but, we'll ignore that for a second.
Oh my gosh, I literally the camera up trying to do the reaction.
Bro.
I just let it fall.
No.
I just let it fall.
No.
This is how we do the rest of the show.
Buckle up, Teddy.
Okay. I was trying to be cool and slide for better reactions. The only reaction I need is the pop from the crowd, and that's what he got.
Exactly. Poor camera.
I know. It got pile driven onto the table. I'm surprised there's not a hole.
Surprised it didn't go through the table.
Hey, now, women's U.S. title match. We're actually going to get into it now. Maybe not where I want it to be on the card, but it felt cool just saying women's U.S. championship.
Yeah.
It's a real thing we have now. It's not just like a thing in 2K.
No, it's an actual thing.
Right before Saturday Night's Main Event came on, I asked you the question, Chelsea Green or Michin. Predicting Green, but I'd be fine with either. Both are overdue a singles accolade. Fair, because I agree. I was Chelsea all the way. How about her ring gear, her attire with her face all over it?
I think she was trying to save face with that ring gear.
Hey,
she didn't thought of it.
Wordplay. Her face just plastered all over her body. Now, Piper gets involved early on in the match, which is not surprising. I was really expecting a turn somewhere in this match.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
I'm glad because, spoiler alert, doesn't happen. But I was like, I don't know. It just feels like, how can Piper just be this friendly? I don't know.
Piper. She still has a part of Dewdrop in there somewhere.
She's Dewdropping. I thought she was gonna Dewdrop her on her head. Now, the match is decent, has some good back and forth flow. Closer we get to the finish, I think the more exciting it gets, which is what the top half of the pay-per-view needed. Finish was awesome.
Oh my God, yes.
Hits the Unprettier off the top, a flip off the top rope into the Unprettier.
Yes.
I popped.
It was so good, man. Like, I was wondering, I was like, when she went up top, I was like, what is she going to do up top? And for some reason, I was thinking, like, is she going to try to do a Rough Rider from the top? And I was like, because she's been using the Rough Rider a lot lately. But no, the Unprettier, the flip into the Unprettier.
Give me a hell yeah.
Yeah, it was so beautiful. She got the win, as I hoped. And it just makes sense. It just makes sense to put the U.S. title on her.
It does. She's obviously more of a fan favorite. It's crazy to say because she's still a heel.
Yeah.
But fans absolutely love her. So it's like, there was no way this wasn't the right decision.
Ironically enough, I first noticed that at Main Event, and not Saturday Night's Main Event, no, the dark matches we watched before Raw, like the tapings of Main Event.
Oh, yeah.
It was on the road to WrestleMania. Yeah, when I was at Raw on the road to WrestleMania, and Chelsea Green had a match on Main Event, and after she won, she cheated to win. Total heel tactics. The crowd went wild, and I was like, Chelsea Green is it.
Sorry, I think that's also why Piper did not do a turn herself, because then that turns Chelsea into a full-on face, and it's like, I don't know if we can. I feel like if that would have happened, they would have tried to push her full-on into face and take away, the cheeky tactics and the snarky attitude and the things that make her who she is. So.
Mm-hmm. I love that you said sorry and you didn't even interrupt me or anything. You were like right on cue. You did your thing. I was like, no, you're good.
Drink it in, man.
Now, WWE title. I want to point out a tweet before I even get into anything.
Oh, no.
I said, this is just a little something. Cody Rhodes, speaking as Cody Rhodes, I just want to be my own man and not live under the shadow of my father. I'm more than Dusty Rhodes' son. Michael Cole every Cody Rhodes match. Coming up next, he's the son of Hall of Famer Dusty Rhodes, the undisputed WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. That shit never gets old to me.
It's so funny. Kevin's the whole thing here is...
Yeah, I need one of those custom Canadian Dream t-shirts that Kevin Owens wore to the ring for this match. I need one.
Yes.
Whoever can make it, send me the link. I'll give you all of my monies.
Drink it in, man.
Okay. Cody, he comes out with the Winged Eagle Championship around his waist, as we anticipated. I'm going to say something that might be a hot take. It looked weirder than I anticipated. It did not go as naturally as I thought it would. I don't like him with that belt.
You just made the list.
I thought it'd be a good look. It was not.
I don't know. I'm not an aesthetic guy. As much as I design logos now and stuff for the show, I'm still not much of a design guy. So trying to figure out what goes together, not my forte. I just liked having the belt back for one night.
Yeah, it is cool to see that belt. Also, it's just weird to me. I cannot put a finger on why. Big fight feel nonetheless.
Yes.
Now, Kevin, he chooses to try and start slow. Cody chooses to start hard and heavy.
Yep.
Match, I'd say, is pretty good. Definitely suited for a Saturday night's main event. A lot of exciting spots. Lil Nate gets knocked out at one point, too. And so does Eddie Durango, the replacement ref. Yes. Called him Eddie Durango.
Durango.
What does he drive, a Durango?
Part done, bro.
Eddie Django Fett. Let's go.
Replacement ref getting knocked out, too. But here's where it gets interesting. Because, again, not a finish I love. But Cody hits a crossroads onto a chair that Kevin snuck into the ring and gets a win. Finish didn't suit as well, but I think we're seeing longer drawn out storytelling with this finish. So I don't love it, but it's not as bothersome as the rest. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think throughout his title reign, you notice Cody's not exactly like every other babyface champion, right? In his feud with AJ Styles, he used the stairs. In his feud here with Kevin, he ends up hitting him on the chair, So Cody's a little bit more gritty, a little bit more, and it's kind of nice to see, actually. He's not stupid.
Ruthless aggression.
That's fair. That deserves it. That's fair.
Yeah.
No.
Hold on. I'm going to pull it up. There we go.
Hey.
Drink it in, man.
That is a fair. Let's wheel. I wrote my final thoughts in one tweet. Just one tweet is my final thoughts. Saying this only because I already have a ticket, but I hope the next Saturday night's main event blows this one out the water. And I don't want to say that this one was bad. It did not feel big and bold and flashy. I saw Martin Nitram, whichever he wants to go by, 4 Sides of the Ring. I saw him tweet out, this really is just a glorified house show, isn't it? And I was like, damn. But that kind of puts a pin on how it felt. There's good matches, but didn't have a big feel. When I watched Saturday night's main event, it felt like it was a big deal. It was the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas.
I don't know, because I looked at some of the stuff for some of those old Saturday night's main events, and I was like, these all feel like, I don't know. But maybe I was just looking at Evander Holyfield versus Matt Hardy in a boxing match.
That first one I watched, Batista and Taker and Cena and Edge. It was just, oh man, they were. I think that was probably the best period Saturday Night's main event had, because even the early '80s, you argue, was bigger because it was just more globally syndicated. It was something new, but there's that middle period where they brought it back, where they were really just hitting, minus Vander Holyfield versus Matt Hardy. And I argue that was still just entertaining.
Drink it in, man.
I mean,
Maybe we should bring more stuff like that back. Maybe we should have a little bit more of entertainment in it. I can't believe I'm saying that, but
whoa,
yeah.
whoa! What did we just? We're in the Twilight Zone, right?
Yes.
Guys, I hate Ilya Dragunov. He's probably the worst wrestler I've ever seen in my life. I mean, damn.
On that note, look at this new Thunder Rosa card I got, because she's just my favorite.
Yeah, that's the best women's wrestler in all of women's wrestling. Damn. But no, I think they definitely hyped it up, right? There was a lot of hype behind this. We had Jesse the Body Ventura coming in, and Pat showed up. Like, I know you didn't want to. We didn't want to acknowledge that, but
Acknowledge me.
A few things we missed. They mentioned TNA like twice.
Yeah, I didn't.
Which
I wasn't going to bring it up.
You didn't want to bring it up, but that's kind of the point I was making earlier in the episode. Was even though the whole Tessa Blanchard thing, you think it only affects TNA. Unfortunately, it seems like WWE is still on good terms with TNA, and
they probably sent her.
Pardon, bruv.
She went to go get a job with the feds, and they're like, "Hold on, sister. We know a better place you can go.
Get the F out."
I don't know.
You're not going to love my rating, but I'm rating it 2 out of 5 stars. You can thank Gunther and Chelsea Green for giving it that. They're the reason why I even rated it to begin with, because they showed out for me tonight.
You know, I think that's a fair rating. That's fair.
Yeah.
I
the
don't
lowest
think I'm going to any higher. I think I'll go same.
You just made the list.
What I will say, I'm very grateful this week that Saturday night's main event was just a nice, cool 2-hour house show feel, and I'm not covering a big, long pay-per-view. We got to that main event, and I said, this is going to be an easy weekend for me.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know what to say. Like, hopefully, like you said, the next one is going to be here in Texas. It's going to be around the Rumble, so hopefully it'll be. In fact, it'll be right before the Rumble. Now that I think about it, right?
Yeah. I didn't even realize that. We'll see some cool stuff go down. Who knows?
Yeah.
I meant to ask a question too, because I've been kind of out of the loop. This was the first time leading up to a WWE event that I didn't watch any WWE going into it. When are we getting the Women's Intercontinental Championship?
So we started the tournament right now.
Yeah.
Dakota Kai and Lyra Valkyria have advanced.
My 2 favorites.
But the favorite to win is Natalia.
I get it.
I get it too. It's more to do with people in the back in the locker room who they feel should get it than it is with like the fans. But I can also see some fans being behind that, and I can get behind it.
Yeah, I want Lyra or Dakota to win it, but if Natalia just gets her flowers out of it, then so be it.
I think the next match is. I think there's 2 matches left. I think it's Raquel, Zoe, and I forget. I don't remember. There's a third person in that match. Raquel's.
I was just trying to pinpoint whenever the finals would be, and I was like, who knows? Maybe I'll just see the first Women's Intercontinental Champion.
No, I think it'll be at. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
It feels like it would be sooner than that, but who knows? Who knows? I'm very surprised, too, that Mako did not come mess with us this entire episode. This is, for all intents and purposes, this was probably one of our smoothest sailing episodes.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Besides the camera?
Okay, let's not mention that.
You just made the list.
besides the camera, this was the smoothest. And this is the first time you and I ever did a video call. It was weird at first, but it was pretty natural. So it was as natural as Dustin Rhodes.
The race that he's, and it's fine.
That's what I'm going out to. He's fine.
Yes, hold on. Let me. Yeah.
I'm literally fine.